Hello bin fans, this is a burner bin. This is one I got off the Amazons, and as you can see it's quite small, 15 to 20 litres, because we want to burn documents and not garden waste. So anyway, as you can see, the bottom has holes in and it's quite sharp as well, so it's not refined, and you have some legs which will go on the bottom like this. Bit of a dent there, but it should do the job. So let's assemble, shall we? And then we'll have a good old burn up. For assembly I've sped it up for your convenience, but you just need an adjustable spanner and a screwdriver, and that'll put the 3 legs on quite easily. Now I'm going to talk about burning precautions, because it's going to be health and safety, as in fire problems, hot surfaces, burns, and setting fire to stuff in your surrounding environment. So first off, make sure you're not going to annoy your neighbours, because it will make a smoke plume which will obviously stink out any washing that's been hung up to dry. Also, with the heat from it as well, is going to provide potential to burn the surrounding environment, so make sure you do it on a concrete floor or dirt, non-flammable kind of stuff in the vicinity, so probably a 2-meter radius at least. No overhanging branches over the top of it, because a lot of the heat comes up as well and could set fire to stuff. Detritus could come off it and set fire to stuff. So also have probably a bucket of water on hand as well, in case things get out of hand. Don't leave an unattended flame, even though it's contained. There's a lot of heat contained within it that's going to get emitted and potentially set fire to stuff. So keep an eye on it throughout. And the only time you stop looking at it is when you've poured water over the final embers, when you've finished your burning. Do not leave it unattended. Use gloves as well, not as I'm doing here. Clothing wise, use materials that aren't going to burn, as in not man-made materials like I'm wearing. My fleece there is not ideal. Don't wear a fleece because you can set fire to it. Hair as well. There's a lot of things. Google it. Fire safety, how to set up a fire. If you're in the Boy or Girl Scouts, then you'll know about these things, hopefully. But do reacquaint yourself, because it is quite a hazard, especially in the summer when you've got tinder environments. So do not do this in any kind of environment where you're likely to set fire to surrounding fields, for example. Make sure it's contained. The flames are contained. Do not use petrol or other accelerants to start the fire, because with those holes in the side of the bucket, it will set fire really, really quickly on anything dry that you put in there that's flammable, papers, etc. So just be aware of that. Anyway, that's enough from me on that. Okay, that's the build complete. So first thing I've noticed is that the quality is not very good at all. It's terrible, to be quite honest. It's bulging out at this side where it's been knocked around a bit, and it's really not the most robust of equipment. What we're going to have to do now is fill it with paper, and then we'll have a bit of a burn up. Here's some documents. I'll just ball up, throw in there. Right, I've balled up some bits of paper which will get the fire started, but there's also some solid lumps of paper together, such as checkbooks and things like that, which will be the fuel which keeps things burning longer for a fire. You'll know that from Boy or Girl Scouts, eh? Okay. So this thing's pretty crap. Nevertheless, we're going to try and burn it up. Let's see. And make sure there's an adult present. Oh, Jesus. Put the lid on, and voila! Here we are, after an hour's worth of stuff has been burnt up. I spent a So here we are. I spent an hour burning stuff. I got through quite a portion and I've let it cool for a good few hours, but even so it's still got some hot embers in there, so you can't do a lot with that other than pour a load of water over it to make sure it's all out before you do anything with it, such as spray it on the garden. I don't know what you're going to do, but you can see it's burnt it nicely. There's no personal data on show there, so it's done its job. So yeah, it's quite small, it's badly made, but it will burn stuff. And as long as you haven't got a massive amount, which I have, we've got about 5 years worth of stuff, and I think it's going to take us a good few hours to burn through it all. But at least for personal documents it's ideal. For garden waste it's terrible, I wouldn't recommend it at all, and you want a proper sized burner bin, and probably something more industrial than that because it's still pretty badly made. So as a one-off job it's done what I wanted it to do, and for a tenner I suppose I can't really complain. It would have, that amount of documents, or the amount that I'm going to deal with, would have destroyed a shredder, let's face it. So overall reasonably happy. Poor build quality. It's overall probably, for my purposes, about a 3 out of 5 kind of experience. Maybe it's even more like more towards 2 out of 5 as regards build quality and how long it's going to last. But you get what you pay for, essentially. And that's the end of my review. It's cheap, but it works. So do drop a like and subscribe if you found that useful. Also, take into account fire safety. If you're not familiar with fires and the risks there, then do make sure you seek advice before setting any kind of fire, obviously. So beyond the scope of this video as well, because there's many things I haven't gone over, such as wearing gloves, make sure you wear protective gear, and yeah, be careful with what you burn as well. Don't burn anything that is dangerous. So do Google that. I'm sure there'll be some kind of fire safety kind of briefing document out there somewhere. But thank you very much for watching and have a great day.